Hey Weirdos, this is Evan Jarvis with Make Oklahoma Weirder, and this is your weekly local music vlog. Gonna jump right into it with a couple personal announcements. I will be on the radio. You're probably watching this Friday, so this is happening tonight. 10 p.m. Tune in to, I guess this is going to be on KGOU. I'm not 100% sure, but it is an OU-based student radio program called Reidy that reached out to me and asked if I'd come on. I haven't had a chance to catch a show yet. They happen every Wednesday and Friday night, but I'm always going to shows and doing stuff like that, so I haven't really got a chance to catch it. But from what I understand, they're very interested in having local music people on, and that's where I come in. So I'm going to be doing an interview, both as a representative of Make Oklahoma Weirder, but also as Jarvix, which is my personal music name and identity. So hopefully I can fit some local coverage from other people in addition to myself on this program. I'm sure I'll get that opportunity. Not going to get to everybody, of course, there's too much, but if there's something you think I should give a shout out to over the airwaves, let me know. I would like to certainly share the love, and you can do that in the comments down here, whether you're watching on IGTV or you're watching this on YouTube. Hit me a comment real quick, and if I see it, I'll try and get you plugged on the airwaves. You can also tag me in anything on social media. I am at WeirderOK, or you can send me an email at makeoklahomaweirder at gmail.com. And that applies to anything and everything, so it doesn't just have to be for this one thing. If you ever want to get in touch with me, that's how to do it. I also want to mention, I don't think I've ever mentioned it before, but I do run a open mic. This happens once a month at the Deli in Norman. No, I don't live in Norman. There's just a lot of cool stuff happening down there. But the Deli has an open mic. It is the first Wednesday of the month. We do sign up at 10, show at 10:30 p.m. And I've been doing this since January, so it's been a pretty consistent thing. I just don't think I've told any of you about this, and if you don't know about it, you might be interested, because it's a really nice opportunity to kind of try out the Deli stage if you've never played the Deli before. I know they're always looking for new talent to come in and do shows, so it's a good opportunity to get yourself seen by people at the Deli, get yourself seen by people like me, communicate with other artists, as most open mics are, but it's not every day you get an open mic at a place like the Deli. So that is happening coming up here this Wednesday, October the 3rd. So totally free to come in, but it is 21 plus because it is a bar venue. So come on out to that if you're interested. With all that out of the way, I am going to plug a show that's happening Saturday. It is the same day as Plaza Fest, so I'm probably not going to make it. Probably going to be at Plaza Fest, but there's a show in Norman at Bison Witches, which is on Main Street there, and it's Ben Quadaneros, I think, is headlining more or less on this event. The band, I think, that reached out to me actually was Hanging Cactus, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or I replied to one of their... Anyway, Hanging Cactus is a Norman band, and they went on hiatus last year. I saw them play, I think it was Totally Local Fest. It was one of those Earth Rebirth shows, and they were going on hiatus, but they're back. It's their return show, so I'm looking forward to seeing them back in action. They're a lot of fun. So Hanging Cactus is playing this bill, and then we've also got Reidy. If you don't know Reidy, you might be living under a rock a little bit. He is certainly doing shows constantly, all the time. I think he just recently opened for one of those Afro Man shows that happened. But he's a great, super charismatic guy. He strikes me as a bit of an outsider to the hip-hop scene, even though a lot of people have kind of accepted him at this point. Just the style of what he does kind of rides the line to me a bit between like hip-hop and like almost alternative music. He doesn't rock a guitar or anything like that, but there's a lot of tonal similarities that I find in some alternative, maybe even some emo styles of music. I don't want to emo's a very loaded term, but he's very kind of, he bears his soul on a lot of things and is emotional and not afraid to be emotional, which is refreshing. But if you don't know Reidy, definitely check him out. He's got a new album dropping next week, October 5th. I have not heard it yet, but I should be getting to hear it pretty soon. And yeah, he's always one to watch. I think he's going on tour soon too. But he's on that bill, and then there's also a band called Big Sleepy, who are new, I think. I don't really know much about them. I know that they had a show recently with Spinster, and I saw a little bit of footage from that, but I haven't seen them. I don't know about anybody in that band. If anybody knows much about Big Sleepy, let me know, because I think they're new, but I don't know. Anyway, this show's happening on Saturday at Bison Witches. Thanks for tagging me in the post. Happy to spread the word on that. Speaking of Big Sleepy and Spinster, that show happened in the Plaza recently. I believe it was Wednesday, and I didn't go to it, but I saw some Instagram video from it. Looked pretty cool, but I am familiar with the venue. So, since it's Plaza Fest weekend, I think it's kind of worth pointing out that there's sort of kind of a new venue in the Plaza District. If you've been following Plaza over the years, kind of like I have, they've never really been consistent about having a live music space there. Saints is about as close as you get. And certainly more in recent years, since OK Sessions has kind of come in and helped, work some of the regular things out, like the jazz shows. And certainly since Original Flow's come through and kind of does Original Flow and the Fervent Route, they both have periodic shows that happen there. A lot of people have kind of gotten into Saints and really vibed with the crowd there and the managers and owners there, and kind of made it a nice live music space. But that's about it. It used to be, we had Bad Grannies for a while. That back room was really cool, but they had to kind of stop doing that a few years back. The Society tried to do some things, but then they ended up moving out. The Venue was a thing for a while. The Parish was a thing before that. Those guys are gone now, and so it's hard to keep a consistent live music, platform there. But there is a new underground kind of punk venue, almost in the vein of Bad Grannies, that is behind Dig It. If you go through Dig It, there's a back room back there that they have dubbed the Mothership Connection, I believe, and they've been having kind of these under-the-radar punk shows that have been pretty well attended, because they're all-ages shows, and I've harped on this before, that we need more all-ages venues in Oklahoma City. So shout out to Mothership Connection and Dig It for bringing some of that old-school punk kind of DIY feel back to the Plaza, because, the real estate politics of what's going on there right now is really, we're losing a lot of cool stuff, and Plaza's becoming a whole different animal. So I like that we still have some of that going on there. Well, natural progression from that, of course, is the Plaza Festival. If you've never been before, it's not just a music festival, it's mostly an arts festival. And honestly, music tends to kind of take a bit of a back seat. But the past couple years, we've had some event organizers that have really fought to make music more of a focus. We have 3 stages now instead of 2. We had 3 stages last year for the first time. We have 3 stages again this year. And we've got something like 39 acts that are playing and performing. You've got one that's kind of in that main parking lot that's like right across from the Lyric Theater. That's where your main stage is. Headliner there is Adam and Kizzy, who have a banging new album out this year. You have the hip-hop stage, more or less, that is behind what used to be Tree and Leaf, that backyard area. So there's going to be hip-hop there all day. Handpicked by the one and only Dez of GotSteez.net. And then there's a third stage that I've always kind of considered not a great stage to get, but maybe this year is different, because it's being headlined by Flock of Pigs. Flock of Pigs is a crowd draw always, and this stage is the Black Welder stage. It's down the street. It's down past the kids section. A lot of times people walk by it and don't really even notice there's music down there, because they're on the main drag where all the art is and the food trucks. And it's like, oh, well, it's just kids stuff. Well, no, there's a stage past there. And so maybe some people are going to go check it out this year, hopefully, because there's a lot of good artists playing that stage this year. So if you're going to Plaza Fest, don't forget there's 3 stages. Check out that Black Wilder stage and show some support. I am out of time, but maybe I'll see you at Plaza.